Hi, it's Shar with another insider's secret on narcissistic abuse. And this one is one that I don't know if I'll ever actually completely ever get over the things that have happened to me. That doesn't keep me from having a happy and healthy and full life. And I know that it really takes concerted effort to find ways to get through post-traumatic stress. And so what are some symptoms, or how did I know that I had post-traumatic stress? A lot of it, I didn't realize that's what it was until I was seeing my therapist. And I was just, he knew some of the questions to ask me to see if I was letting it affect me. But, you know, when I would go to bed at night, I noticed that I was just checking the doors a lot and double and triple and quadruple checking. It was just everything I did was always overkill on making sure I was safe and making sure when I left that doors were locked and that people knew where I was at. And, you know, at the time, people probably thought that I was overreacting or that they didn't understand how my thought process worked. I know I had turned my GPS on my phone and had my children and a close girlfriend always knew where I was at because I was really worried that he was going to do something to me. So I would always check doors. I was always really watchful of people around me and suspicious and looking at cars behind me if they followed me. It was just always in a hyper awareness mode, and you really burn through quite a bit of energy when you are going through that, when you're staying in that state of mind. I know after my last incident, I had a no contact order against this person, and he didn't just attack me. My car got keyed in the driveway when I moved because he wanted me to know that he knew where I lived. But then there was just things on the internet that he was doing, and I was getting weird messages from spoof phone numbers. And if you don't know what a spoof phone number is, they can go out and get an app, and it will give them a legit phone number that can then call you or text you. And so I was never, at some point, I just felt that I was never safe, because even if I was in the safety of my home, he still had ways that he was reaching through and abusing me. And so I started seeing my therapist, and he started helping me kind of work through a lot of that. And it all really starts with, first and foremost, you have to get safe. You have to get where you feel safe. You can't be staying in this area of always being a reaction and always not being able to let your guard down, because it's with sleep and rest that we heal. And we don't just heal physically, but our mental state can heal. And so we have to get safe. And so whatever safe looks like to you, even if people think you're obnoxious, you get safe. I know when I bought my townhouse, I put it in my LLC's name because I didn't want him to find me that way. When I was calling the power company to get utilities switched on, I didn't want them in my name because this person is smart enough to click over to like LinkedIn and search for somebody who works at the power company and take them out and court them, all in the course of feeding them fake lies to get my address. And when I was thinking that, when I was going through setting up power and trying to find this, and when I found out that I had to use, there was nothing out there was no program out there. They were making me use my real name, and I'm lucky because I have adult children whose names I could have used, but I kept thinking about what if I didn't. And I asked a few friends, and then they were scared. They didn't want it in their name because they'd come after him. And it was just, I'm sure at the time people thought I was overreacting, but I wasn't overreacting anymore. I thought I was taking control back and not underestimating him again. And so once I was able to get into my house and I put a security system, and I've got, not only do I have a security system, but I've got cameras everywhere, I've got window sensors everywhere, I have glass break sensors everywhere, and I have an app on my phone, and I have a panic pad so that if I'm caught outside of being able to reach the main pad. And my security system also has a code that, you know, if he was at my front door, if somebody was there threatening me and they made me disarm my system, I can enter a code that will disarm the system but still send a silent alarm. So I really went overboard at first, especially when you're transitioning out of a domestic violence situation and you're in reaction mode. You might overreact at first, and that's okay. You do whatever you need to do to feel safe and to get where you feel safe, because it took about 2 weeks of me living in this house, and I had the app on my phone that in the middle of the night I would hear a noise, and instead of having to get up out of bed or lay there all night scared, I would just get my phone and look at the app, and I was able to see the cameras. And eventually, after 2 weeks, I started trusting it a little bit more. Nip has got a lot to say. That would also be, because somebody's here, that would also be one of the reasons why I got a dog, is I even through all of that, I was still waking up in the middle of the night, and I would feel like somebody was in the room with me. And I've taken my permit to carry, I've got a gun, I have taken self-defense classes, but there is still something in the middle of the night that would wake me up. And I would be in my home where, you know, the security alarm is supposed to go off if somebody was in it, but I would wake up and I would just know that he was here with me, or he's in this room, or he's doing something. And so I ended up getting a little dog who is really yippy. This is why I hire him, so I don't yell at him, because this is what I want him to do, is to let me know right now somebody's at my front door. But that way now when I wake up, because it doesn't stop it. I mean, there's still moments that I wake up. It just doesn't become as intrusive as what it used to be when I would lay there and I would get all upset and get stressed out because I didn't know somebody was in my house. Now, in the middle of the night, I still wake up in the middle of the night. There's still those moments of terror, but I know my dog's in the room with me in his kennel. If he's not barking, there's nobody in the house. And so I found ways to work through those moments, because the moments don't ever go away. The flashbacks, the panic attacks, they don't go away. I can just learn, I've learned to handle them now. I know what to do. And it's always learning, because there's still new things that come. And so being able to open my eyes and realize that I don't want to get stuck in that stage of being just a helpless child that's scared, because it's when you stay in that scared stance and the chemicals that get released in your body that just make you sick, And so being able to realize that, wait a second, this is bothering me. Okay, what's something that's going to make me feel safe? What's going to make me be able to work through this moment? And that's what you do. And if there's another one, you don't look at it as like a failure, or that you're not making progress, because these things will probably never go away in my life. There are little things and little triggers that the big ones I can work through, but there will always be just a little one because of all the chaos and damage that this person had caused in my life. And a lot of that is just in our own brain. And so when we're able to work through it and empower ourselves, you'll find that that's going to be truly the solution for getting down the road into a healthy mindset and get into healthy dynamics. I think this is definitely something that you have to make sure, especially with those closest to you, that you explain to them that you're having, because then if they're aware of it and they learn a little bit more too, they can help see signs, or hey, remind you of these things. But at the same time, don't always listen to them. Trust your gut, because when I was getting my security system set up and people thought I was going overboard and I was asking for my utilities to be put in somebody's name, it's because I know how evil this person was and how to all ends of the earth he would go through to impact me and affect me. And I didn't want to underestimate him, because when I did, I felt stupid, but in the end, it made me stronger. So I hope this video helps you out, because you know what I know is that where you are today and how you are is absolutely fantastic and amazing and perfect and wonderful. And it just stinks that you have to go through this, but it's all in the course of making you a better person and a stronger person, and don't let it be anything but that. And so in the process of getting ahead of that ball and balancing out those scales of abuse, loving yourself most and first is going to be the quickest way to work through all of this, because you've got amazing things inside of you that the world needs, and we got to get you there so you can give them to them. So hope you found something in this video today that helped you, and comment below if you'd like to talk about something else. And just know that you're amazing. We all are. We're all connected, and we're all powerful. Don't forget it. Go love yourself. Bye. I think you can go love yourself. I gotta quit this video and I don't know how.